Hello YouTube, welcome to another studio update. So it is January 2021 and here is kind of the progress that I've made so far. So I've got a couple of the creature comforts in, like I finally got a heater, and we've got some nice insulation so we can stay cozy in here. But besides, you know, the bare necessities, new electric, that kind of thing, the biggest thing was actually getting light in here. So here's a clip from earlier with the one sad light bulb that was lighting the studio previously, and then here is the exact same camera exposure with all of my lights on. You can tell there's a huge difference, but let's even compare exposure compensated the previous lights to the new light. It is just brighter, softer, it is color balanced more correctly so that it feels good in here, and really that's kind of what it's all about. So let's talk about some of the next steps that I need to do. So the very first thing is try not to, this is something that maybe it's the ADD, you know, coming out in me or something, but I tend to really hyper focus and want to finish one thing. So when you have a project this massive, you really want to get the pieces, you know, 80 to 90% there and move on. So for instance, here is my Iceland print, which is going to go up onto this wall. But before I get it, you know, drilled into the concrete, I want to set up everything else around it, making sure that all of the lighting and everything, it's, you know, centered. So that's going to take a lot of time, and right now it can just kind of hang out on that wall. Another thing when I'm talking about getting 80 to 90% there. So let's take a look at this shelf here. So this shelf, it looks like a mess, but it is actually about 90% organized. Right now, if I needed to grab something, I would know where it is. So I'm still kind of finicking with some of the stuff, but let me just kind of walk you through it. So we have kind of in that back corner, those are all of the things that I don't access very often. I've got wedding show brochures and boudoir brochures in my wedding show magazines, and business cards and triple click flyers and triple click business cards and rewards cards. We've got some of my external monitors up there that I take to shows, along with all of these stands. So that's all just kind of seasonal convention or wedding show stuff. Down on the bottom, in the back, I've got all of my art prints for the wedding shows. I have all of my disc backgrounds, all of my 5x7 pop-ups, along with all of my studio strobes. Coming over here, I've got all of the triple click bins set up that I have, the wedding show stuff, my extra studio strobes, and the whole rest of this shelf is lighting and audio gear. And then all the Pelican cases down there, more lighting and audio gear. So, does it look pretty? No. Do I want it to look pretty? Absolutely yes. I will get there. But the very first step when you're kind of putting everything together is remembering that things will not happen overnight. So when you're setting up your first studio, just get things 80% of the way there, because the last 20% is going to be where you spend all of the effort. So I have these bookshelves here. They're not ideal, but it's kind of what I already had, so I'm going to work on kind of filling out that display. And I'm even thinking about, so this area here is going to be the client meeting area once the couch is kind of cleaned off and I have an appropriate sized coffee table and, you know, get a TV on a cart here. But I think what I'm going to do is build a false wall right here so I can put some of my art prints on that wall. So this is going to be a very kind of cozy client meeting space. If I'm shooting with someone, you know, they can sit down and relax. Or if I'm talking to a client, we can do in a print sale right here and I have all my samples at hand. So I think I'm going to completely close off this wall, like I said, with a false wall so I can put up prints without having to drill into my concrete. That's just personal preference. But then on the back side of this is going to be all of the camera storage there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. A couple of other things that are super important that we need to get in here. I'm going to have a rolling cart. It's going to be basically a tool chest, but it's going to look like a tool chest because it is a tool chest, but it's going to be for all of my camera equipment. So one of the things that I learned at one of the studios that I was working at is you want all of your most used gear there at hand. We had a camera closet for storing storing all of the camera stuff, but all of the stuff that goes into the chest, you've got your flags, your reflectors, your gobos, your triggers, extra batteries, lenses, all of the things that you might need at a moment's notice at your fingertips. So we're gonna work next on setting up my camera station. That might be the next video. The other things that we got going on in here is I just did some mortar patching, so you can see here that it's, you know, it's gonna take some time to kind of cure, and we'll work on that, and then I'll paint over it, and then it'll look nice. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I just getting everything organized, getting things put together, getting things put where they need to be. Now that we have some of the creature comforts in here, I can do some more work. So I'm going to post this video and then start working on a new series that I think you're really going to enjoy, which is going to be deconstructing photography. So I'm going to take a photo, deconstruct it, and see if I can't recreate it. So that'll be coming up on the channel next, but of course I will have another studio update when I have more tips or things to talk about. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.